I cheated on my boyfriend. Me and my boyfriend have been dating for 3 years on and off. He's 19 meters, and I'm 18. The other night, we went to a college party of his friends and there was drinking involved and he ended up getting super drunk. I did drink too, but I was tipsy. We got into a fight about me talking to one of his good friends that I'm friends with too. I didn't understand what the big deal was because I wasn't trying to flirt with this friend, I just have a very flirty personality. He was causing this big scene over nothing and his friend was clearly embarrassed. He's an emotional drunk and he was crying over this small thing and suggesting to break up. I didn't argue with him, instead I walked out the door. A little later our friend walked out to talk about what happened and to ask if I wanted to go home with him. I went with 4 people including my boyfriend and it would have been awkward to go home after that and I didn't want everyone to go home because of a silly fight. I ended up saying yes to going home with him because he doesn't know the way to my house and I told my parents I would be home way later. We got to his house and long story short, we hooked up. Not the best decision I made, but I was also emotional and drained. We had a really good conversation after and he said he felt bad because he felt like he ruined me and my BF's relationship. I promised he didn't and that was kind of the end of it. Today my BF texted me an apology and said he was sorry he acted like that while drunk. I screenshotted it and sent it to the friend, just so he would know, and I told my BF that it was fine and that we could still be together. Apparently this friend told him what happened between us a little later and my boyfriend didn't like it. He's still really upset and sad because he sees it as cheating. He said he still really wants to stay together, but he's still upset about it and an emotional wreck. I know I was in the wrong, but he did suggest breaking up and it's kinda his fault. And at the same time I still hate seeing him like this. How can I make him feel better or make this situation better for us? Comment 1. These are your words. Let's start with he's an emotional drunk. If he's an emotional drunk then maybe him suggesting a breakup was him being overly emotional due to being drunk and he didn't really mean it. Suggesting to break up is completely different from breaking up, therein lies your mistake. If you hooking up with the friend was even 3 or 4 days after the fight with you boyfriend with no communication then I would have agreed with you that this was not cheating, but the fact is this guy you said was an angel took advantage of the situation of you being upset with your boyfriend and because you were flirting with him earlier, he had you right where he wanted you. That behavior of you jumping right into hooking up with another guy the same night as a suggestion to break up is the reason why I said at least at the moment you are not girlfriend material. This is something that can be worked on but you have to take accountability for your actions and work on the things that have put you in this situation because be it with your current boyfriend or a new one if this is always how you will react then you'll be right back here again saying it wasn't cheating. Answer: he knew what he was doing and I didn't take it as a suggestion. The way he was acting was ridiculous and I really thought he at least wanted to take a break. He was communicating, I just wasn't. He didn't have me right where he wanted because he wasn't the one to try to start anything, but I'm not gonna defend him. If I'm not GF material, guess he isn't BF material then. I've took accountability and I don't see anything like this happening again. Comment 2. Okay, let's say roles were reversed, you're drunk and your boyfriend who's only got a buzz is flirtatiously talking to your friend, and you make a big drunken scene and suggest a breakup. He goes outside and then leaves you at the party only to go to your friend's house and hooks up with her that same night. How would you feel? And when you said hooked up, do you mean you had time or just made out? Either way you were warned for this one. Answer: I wasn't flirting with his friend on purpose. Obviously I wouldn't be happy with it, but it's just not the same and I would never react the way he did. He put us both in an uncomfortable situation. And it doesn't matter, damage was already done. Comment 3. Until you realize that guys think differently than women in regards to dealing with the opposite as time. Regardless if you meant to or not you did and your boyfriend saw what was going to happen before it did because he knows how his friend thinks. He put us both in an uncomfortable situation. No he didn't, you did when you inadvertently flirted with the friend and then decided to go to his house instead of call an Uber or you parents to come pick you up and to hook up with him. Answer: they can think differently but it doesn't mean you can be like this is cheating. I know how his friend thinks too and he's an angel and really did not have any intent to flirt back or anything. There was moments where I was like I hope he doesn't think I'm flirting with him, that would be so embarrassing. It's literally just the way I talk. Also there's multiple reasons why I went home with him instead. Why would I want to even be alone after all that? Comment 4. Like you said. You know you were in the wrong. Don't try to pass blame to him for throwing a tantrum and threatening breaking up. That doesn't excuse you hooking up with a friend. I'd say this relationship is over. You both need to do some growing up and owning of your poor behavior. The friend also needs to own his role in it. Comment 5. So you know how guys truly think? I think not. If you did, you wouldn't be in this situation. If he was so much of an angel, he would have dropped you off at your house and went back to the party. We all know why you went back to his house. It's the same reason you were flirting with him. You find him attractive. If you can't see the problem in all of this is you, then maybe you should tell your boyfriend that you are not girlfriend material and break up with him so he can find a girlfriend that doesn't flirt with everyone in the room and goes out and hooks up at the mention of breaking up. And yes, 100% this was cheating because you both never confirmed the end of the relationship. Answer: no, I don't know how he was thinking and it didn't seem very smart or calm to me. And yay, true. I literally was fighting the urge to cry and I was embarrassed he had by how my BF acted. I was not thinking about hooking up. I find him attractive, but that doesn't mean I'm attracted to him. Why do I have to tell him I'm not GF material? That sounds wrong. I was not flirting with that dude and I think he even kinda knows it didn't need to be confirmed because he said he wanted to. Comment 6. You are though. Nobody forced you to cheat on your boyfriend. Being drunk isn't an excuse for cheating, and it sounds like you're trying to deflect blame on everyone but yourself for the hurt you caused. People get drunk around others all the time and don't cheat on them. Comment 7. You cannot cheat by mistake. You don't accidentally have time with someone else. Cheating takes an active effort and you knew what you were doing, and if you didn't know then you might not be mature enough to be in a relationship. Your boyfriend deserves someone who is loyal to him. The issue is that you are having zero accountability, and when you admit to cheating, you're making an excuse for why it technically wasn't cheating because of some arbitrary rule you made up. No amount of quotation marks makes it less cheating. Comment 8. This is what I meant by saying you're not girlfriend material. This is you admittedly saying you really had no idea of the status of your relationship before you slept with his friend, regardless if you started it or he did, because you never confirmed what your boyfriend really wanted to do. And if this guy was an angel and not a snake, then he could have went inside and asked your boyfriend or one of the others who went with you what your address is so he can take you home. Or you could have called your parents to come pick you up. I know as a father, if my daughter called me and said she had a fight with her boyfriend and wanted to come home, then I go pick her up. You said you don't know your own address in another comment, so how do you get home from school, work or anywhere by yourself? Answer: I thought we ended on pretty good terms last night. He was acting like he wanted to break up and that's how I decided to take it. Why would he walk up to my BF after all that? I actually was staying at my mom's new house / my stepdad's house. I've been living there for a while, but I just don't think of it as my home. I still stay at my mom's apartment and live with my dad at times. And no, I wasn't gonna ask one of my parents to pick me up because they're already strict enough and they would have interrogated me. I guess everyone has different ideas of girlfriend material. Comment 9. So if someone suggests taking a vacation, does that mean they're on a vacation at that moment? No, it doesn't. Things have to be confirmed before that can be done. The same goes for a breakup. Someone who is in love with someone isn't going to go out that same night and sleep with or mess around with someone else before at least confirming the end of the relationship. And even then, what does that say about that person? I asked you in another comment how you would feel if roles were reversed and in an emotional state you suggested a breakup but nothing confirmed. He goes and sleeps with one of your friends that same night. Then you message him the next day saying you're sorry and you were just drunk or upset and you don't want the relationship to end. He says okay and doesn't tell you about the hookup and you have to hear it from your friend. How would that make you feel? Wouldn't you feel cheated because you never really said the relationship is over? If you can't understand this, then maybe you need to take time away from relationships and just be single. On that note, I hope you figure out what you did wrong in this situation so you never find yourself in it again. Wishing you happiness and success. Comment 10. You did cheat, because you guys never officially broke up. You just stormed out like a child because of a flirty personality, which isn't really a thing. Emo. There's a decent human being who cares about their partner's feelings and thoughts, and then there's I cheated because he said we broke up but I never agreed or disagreed. If this were him asking advice about what you have done, I'd tell him to drop your ass, as you both need to grow up and learn to take responsibility, and his friend that you banged isn't really his friend, he's just a shitty person. Emo, and is just as to blame as you are. Yes, BF shouldn't have said he wants to break up without meaning it, but at the same time, if this is what's going to happen every time you both have a fight, then this relationship is doomed, as it's toxic and unfair to both parties. Answer: I didn't storm out like a child. I chose the most rational response to what he was doing. Thank you for being honest. Thanks you for watching Everyday New Movies. See you soon.